Okay, we're going to do the homework. We'll start certainly with problem number one. My recommendation to is, certainly invest in using a ruler, learning how to use a ruler, of course, and a protractor. Now, certainly a ruler here, if you notice over here, I can also get angles on the ruler. And if you have a computer, a ruler typically will do that for you, all right? So what I like to do is certainly try to visualize the problem. And often students wonder, do I really need to visualize? No, but it's nice if you can, all right? You could do the problem without visualizing it, by the way. So it says solve the right triangle. I put a base down, and there's a right triangle over here. It says angles A and B are acute, and it says C is the hypotenuse. So they're telling me a good deal about the triangle at this point, but nothing specific other than the fact that it's a right triangle. That's one of the angles is 90, and there's two acute angles A and B, and the hypotenuse is going to be labeled C. All right. Now they tell me what B is 17. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take my ruler, and you don't have to be exact with it. I'm going to say, maybe 17 degrees right there. I'm going to draw a line in now, something like this over here. They did say right triangle, so what I'm going to do is, 90 degrees, got that there, draw a line over here, and I got my triangle now, right? I see the triangle. I'm going to label it for you. This is a right triangle, and put the right triangle over here. This is side C. That means that this right triangle, that angle there is letter C. What else did they tell me? Letter B. Well, I'm looking at it, and I just measured it out before. I hope you remember that this is B over here, and B is 17 degrees. They also told me a side A. Now, for me to know the side A, I would need to know up here that this is angle A up here. This is going to be side A. What's A? Well, they're telling me it's 0.98 meters. So I got the problem completely visualized. For me to solve the triangle, by the way, I want to come up with all the missing information. And someone says, I wonder what's missing here. I'll tell you what's missing. A is missing. I don't know what A is. It's an angle. Side C is missing. I don't know what that is. And also, side B is missing. I'll label this over here. This is going to be side B. I don't know that. So I want to put that stuff down for him. I'm going to say it should be easy to put down. All right? It should be very easy. If it's not clear to you, I want to point out that C is an angle and C is 90 degrees. All right? So the first thing I want to do is put angle A down. Now, how do I do that? Well, A plus B, angle A plus angle B, is 90 degrees. What's A? I don't know. But A, do I know what B is? It's 17 degrees equals 90 degrees. Subtract 17 from both sides, 17 degrees. And what are you going to get? Well, let's see. You're going to get 73 degrees. I put a box in that indicating I at least know what A is now. Now let's do the other stuff. And if this is an exam question, I would recommend that you just simply write down the exact answers. There are no calculators. You're not going to approximate that without a calculator at this stage. So what am I going to do over here? Let's write it down. And the first thing I would write down is I want to get B. And what do I know? I know the tangent of angle B, which is 17 degrees, is equal to the opposite, which is B, over the adjacent, which is 0.98 meters. So now I can write down what B is. And this is an exam. This is all I expect you to write down. So it's 0.98 times the tangent of 17 degrees. What's the unit of that? Meters. There's nothing to do beyond that, by the way, on the exam. You just write that down, and that's your answer for B. Now, if you're using a calculator for homework, I don't mind you doing that. We do approximate B for you. And just kind of looking at the picture, I know B is a lot smaller than A, I think about the third of the size. But I did it on a calculator, and this is the number on a calculator. All right, I want to do C now. C is the longest side. How do I do that? Well, I'm going to write down the cosine of 17 degrees, and that's going to be the adjacent side, which is 0.98 meters, over C, side C. How do I do that? Well, I got to solve that equation. I'd say multiply both sides by C and divide by cosine of 17 degrees. So what's C going to equal? Let me write this down for you. It's going to be 0.98 meters divided by the cosine of 17 degrees. Put a box in that. That's an exam. That's what we're expecting from you. For your own practice, I think you probably should be able to compute that. And C is the longest side. It turns out to be about 1.02 meters. And that covers the problem. So what I do in the problem, I figured out A, simplest thing to do first. I figured out to be, I said it's the next easy thing to do, and then I got the C. Again, angle C is also listed as 90 degrees. If you want to put that down, you can. I think it's kind of obvious that it's 90 though. All right, it's a right triangle. Thank you.